Satsang-63. Brahman is beyond conception. 27th September, 1935. Evening Satsang. The Supreme, Pure, Absolute Consciousness is non-dual, and we are that. It cannot be meditated upon, true, but does that mean that we should give up meditation? Meditation is not there because we are holding on to it. On the contrary, it is the natural state. The first study is the study of the self, Atman. But now what is shared here is the study of the Supreme Self, Param Atman. One's natural state is the Supreme Lord, Parameshwara. The primal urge or movement is the life energy, which is God. Consciousness is the life energy of God. That which remains without knowing, without being conscious, is the Supreme Self, Param Atman, Parameshwara. To come down into this world of visibility is the taking of incarnation, avatar, which means to come down. When we reflect on the permanent and the impermanent, the mind comes to a stage of equilibrium or equanimity. When you know Param Atman, you become something else. Param Atman is devoid of knowingness. If we try to become or be, it always brings in obstacles. Not becoming anything is a key point. Don't even try to remember what Para Atman is. Have absolutely no thought of becoming anything, and keep nothing in memory. Even meditation on the Absolute brings in duality. Do not fall prey to doubt. Do not be apprehensive. Leave all illusion. Param Atman can never be tarnished or stained, nor does it become new by any effort that you make. People without discriminative intelligence, who do not practice self-inquiry, get involved in worldly life. Therefore, you must utilize the power of discrimination and inquiry. What you call the individual, Jiva, is actually God, Shiva. When that which is created by imagination has gone, what remains is only Param Atman. Leave off even the sense that God is. When this sense of you looking at anything goes, it is only God itself which remains. Remain with yourself as you are. Be very natural. The self is unaffected by the threefold time of past, present, and future. When all the past, present, and future go away, that which remains at the end is the self. When you begin to look, the three aspects that are the observer, the act of observation, and the object that is being observed come into being. When you search and try to find out that where cause does not have any place and nothing similar exists, you lose it instead of finding it. That which should be observed, which is to be remembered, and which is to be worshipped, is Atman, the self. And you are that. However, when you go about trying to find it, it becomes something other. It is not possible for you to forget the self. The fact that you exist is your own direct experience. Who else can convince you that you exist? First, you must exist. And only then is inquiry possible. If you are not there, who will conduct a search? And you are there without saying that you are. It is necessary to understand that it is not dependent on your senses to confirm that you exist. There is no doubt about the truth or falsehood in that, because it is the state of being. This is you. That which is not tangible to the senses, which cannot be approached, is the truth. That is the Sat, reality or beingness, beyond the effects of the three aspects of time. How can one practice that which is? What is there to think about existence, which is already there? It is called the self-evident state, without any effort being involved. The self is self-evident. You cannot distort it by twisting it this way or that. You cannot forget the self, even if you try. That which you feel that you are forgetting is not you. It is the other. It is only the forgetting of that which has been remembered. And whatever is remembered is destined to be forgotten. Whatever is forgettable is other than the self. Remembering and forgetting happen about something else. It is not you. As you are not the object of memory, you are also not the object of forgetting. These things, remembering and forgetting, only take place in consciousness. You are without these. In you, there is no damage whatsoever, as this cannot be damaged any time by anybody. When you came to me, what have I done, after all? I have just removed the illusion. I removed the illusion of a snake. The rope appeared as a snake, and there was fear. I convinced you that it is not a snake, but only a rope. The rope had never become the snake. You were only confused. Now the snake is forgotten. To forget it is itself the remembrance of reality. First, you have to gain knowledge, and then leave the knowledge. It is enough to know this true I. You have recognized, that is all. Why must you know again and again? Atman, the self, is permeating everywhere. Atman is like gold that is permeating the ornaments. If you try to meet it, it escapes. This is the noble story of speechlessness. It cannot be achieved by any kind of means. If you try to lose the self, you cannot, for it cannot be lost. Atman cannot be thrown away if you try, for the self is always existing. It eludes you if you try to see it, and it is there even if you do not see it. Yet to try to acquire it becomes a handicap. The self is realized without the process of understanding. It is devoid of thought and without focus of effort anywhere. The me that was trying to understand is dead. Brahman is not a subject of meditation. while you eat and drink, Brahman is all the time there. The mind is false, so how can the vast Brahman be understood by it? One who says that he knows Brahman has not truly gone to that region at all. For Brahman cannot be known by mental attitude of the mind. Who can know that which is the father of all things, the root of all creation? If you try mentally to follow it, you will only be confused. In trying to describe Brahman, even the Vedas have remained silent, saying only neti, neti, not this, not this. Only the Sadguru can point to that which cannot be described. Who can describe the indescribable? All imagination is projected according to the ego, the sense of I. We have to leave that movement of ego altogether. Only then can you reach Param Atman, the Supreme Self. Destroy your doubts in the company of saints and sages. Reduce and finally completely remove egoic tendencies. Inquire and find out how this can be done. Your words should be aligned with that of the sage, the understanding of which should be aligned with his teachings. The body form should be kept in proximity with the sage's form, and your virtue should be like his virtue. Your qualities and actions should be compared with the qualities of the saint. We should check to see if that which is best in him is also in us. Then, with the saint's help, with the power of discernment and wisdom in him, we should look into our shortcomings. By comparing our qualities, we must keep what is best. We must eliminate from our character that which is worst. In such a way, all doubt must be wiped out totally. All of this investigation and observation belongs to the inner region. This is the relationship among knowing, not knowing, and supreme knowledge. The one who aligns himself with the saint or sage becomes one of direct knowledge. The sense of ego is difficult to get rid of. Only the teaching of the Sadguru can do it. Devotion is destroyed by an egotistic attitude. Through the ego's movement, the self, which is self-evident, is shrouded or veiled. Because of ego, many have roamed around naked. Many have taken a topsy-turvy approach to yoga. Many have gone hidden in the mountains. And many have enshrouded themselves with long beards and tresses, dreadlocks, hardened by neglect. All of this so-called spirituality is based on ego. One cannot say what havoc ego will play. Because of the egoic movement, there is no spiritual life. It is damaged. In God consciousness, ego cannot be tolerated. The devotee of the Sadguru drops ego. How is ego to be dropped? It is dropped by being aware of it. It is only through understanding and inquiry that it is going to be dropped. When you know the reality, you can be rid of ego. We have to be Brahman, and then we can have direct experience. Be happy in non-attachment. The one who puts in spiritual effort without pride is truly worthy of praise. God says, Rama, Krishna, and the like are my worshippers. The sages and others were all praising this, the God of all. All the saints who have lived up to now were doing this worship, puja. They were worshiping the formless, flawless, fully joyous, beyond sentiments and qualities, without any residue, the Atma Ram, the enjoyer of all the works and offerings given by them. Only your own mind is responsible for your bondage and liberation. There is no hindrance to you from God. We have to experience Brahman by being Brahman. The experience should be without me, the experiencer. Only then is that experience possible. There must not be any I consciousness at all. You must not be aware that you, as in ego, are experiencing Brahman. So many egos tried to be experiencers of Brahman, but they did not enjoy its glory. Only Lord Krishna could enjoy it. We should be the doer, but without the sense that we are doing. The actions must be without the sense of I as doer. The state of being aloof must be correctly understood. And only then does one become Param Atman.